Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. The historical romance readathon is coming up real soon, March 16th. So I'm finally doing my TBR video for the readathon. I've seen some amazing TBR videos already from other channels, so I'll link all the ones that I know about in my description, so be sure to check out those channels and those TBR videos. Some little details if you didn't know about the readathon. It's a historical romance readathon, so we're reading just historical romances. I am co-hosting this readathon with my friends Jessica from Peace Love Books and Lisa from Remarkably Lisa. It is a week long, so it starts March 16th and ends on the 23rd. There is a little bingo challenge to make things a little bit more fun. You can join in with that. You don't have to. You can just read whatever historical romances you want and like not even look at the bingo challenge. But there's a lot of fun tropes, fun character archetypes for you to cross out if you do happen to come across them in your historical romances. If you still need to screenshot the bingo template, it is in my Instagram story highlights, so I'll link my page down below. We are also doing a readathon buddy read, which is Hearts of Flame by Joanna Lindsay. This one's a Viking old school romance and it's actually available on KU, so it's not too hard to grab a hold of it. So if you want to join me, Jessica, and Lisa in buddy reading this book, you absolutely can. So on to my TBR. I actually have a lot. Half are audios and half are my paperbacks. Of course, Hearts of Flame is on my TBR. I'm not sure whether I'll be reading this one like first, but I'll eventually get to it. Like I said, it is a Viking romance with a captive heroine. She is the hero's prisoner, and this also counts as the published before 2000 square. It was published in 1987. There's also a Joanna Lindsay square on the bingo, so you don't have to read this one. You can read any of her other books if you want to check that square. I have two Lisa Kleypas books that I am debating whether to get to. One of them is Somewhere I'll Find You, and the other one is Lady Sophia's Lover, which is on my Kindle. Somewhere I'll Find You is book one in the Capitol Theater series, and the heroine is a famous actress. Secretly, though, that she hides from her adoring public is her mysterious husband that she was betrothed to by her parents. So now the main characters are trying to find each other in order to divorce, basically. Okay, boo, what are you doing? Whoa. But of course, divorce is not exactly what happens when they finally meet each other. I'm leaning towards this one, but I also kind of want to read Lady Sophia's Lover. That one is book two in the Bow Street Runner series. I've already read book one, and the hero of Lady Sophia's Lover was first introduced in that one. I'm really intrigued by his character. But yeah, it depends, I guess, on how much time I have. Although knowing me, once I read one Lisa Kleypas book, I will probably read another one right after. Also on my TBR is The Rakess by Scarlett Peckham. This one is an arc. It doesn't come out until April. It is on my list of most anticipated reads of 2020. I am so excited for this one. This author has been on my TBR for ages. I have her other historical romance series waiting on my Kindle, but I think I'm just gonna start with this one first. The Rakess is literally about a Rakess, a female rake heroine, which is exactly what has sold me on this book. The heroine loves women's equality and sex, so I am already in love with her. She ends up falling for a wholesome Scottish single father, and I am just so hyped for this book. There is a rake square in the bingo card that I am absolutely using for this book. Another one that is high up on my TBR is Devil's Bride by Stephanie Lawrence. This one has a marriage of convenience with a rake, infamous rake hero, and a governess heroine who would rather have adventure than be tied down in marriage. I'm really excited about this one as well, mainly because it is kind of considered a classic in historical romance. It's always in like top lists for historical romances. Also, the back has a very nice cover. And then my other books are audiobooks that I borrowed from my library. I have two Beverly Jenkins historical romances, Breathless, which is book two in the Old West series and the only book in this 3-book series that I haven't read yet, so I am looking forward to finishing up the series. This book is a Western historical romance, no cowboys, I don't think, but it does take place in Arizona. The main characters are family friends and they've known each other since they were pretty young, so yay for that. And then the other Beverly Jenkins book that I have is Indigo, which I think a lot of people consider their favorite Beverly Jenkins book. This one is a standalone. The main characters are a part of the Underground Railroad. The heroine she escaped slavery when she was a child and now she is helping runaway slaves find their freedom. The hero is brought to her injured and beaten and she nurses him back to health. They are both conductors of the Underground Railroad and I'm just really looking forward to reading more of Beverly Jenkins because I really liked her writing in the Old West series. And then I have A Daring Arrangement by Joanna Shupe. This is the first book in the 400 series set in the Gilded Age in New York City. This one will be my first full-length book from Joanna Shupe. I've read one of her novellas in an anthology, How the Duke Stole Christmas, and I really liked that story from her. So I am very happy to finally read more of her. In this one we have a titled English heroine with a non-titled American hero. It's actually got a fake relationship. The heroine wants to marry some artist that she's in love with, but she can't because he's not titled. So she tries to find a very scandalous fiance to shock her parents into allowing her to marry that artist. The hero is more than happy to go along with that fake fiance ruse and ends up actually being an amazing fake fiance. I actually also wanted to borrow one of her other Gilded Age romances, the first book in the Uptown Girl series. That one's called The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, but I'm currently still on hold for it and I still have 2 weeks left, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make it in time for the readathon. And last on my TBR is The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. This is the second book in the Girl Meets Duke series. This one I haven't read yet, but I read the other 2 books in the series, so I am pretty much using this readathon as an excuse to catch up on all the unfinished historical romance series. The heroine is a governess and she is the new governess to these 2 orphans that the hero, who is a Duke heir, is the guardian of. He is very much a rake and I'm very excited to see how this governess heroine will reform him. I also have 2 other books that I'm kind of sort of feeling, but I'm not sure I'll have time to get to them both. The first one is Hearts of Thunder by Joanna Lindsey. This one is so freaking old school. It's a historical romance set in Mexico with an outlaw hero. And then the other one that I'm thinking of is Flowers from the Storm by Laura Kinsale. This one is very long, so I'm not sure I'll have time for it. It is over 500 pages long, but it is also considered a classic in historical romance. I will for sure end up getting to it someday, just don't know where my mood will take me during the readathon. So those are the books that I have on my TBR. For paperbacks, for audios, the audiobooks should probably fly by really quickly. I've just been going through so many audiobooks lately, listening to them at like 2.5 speed, so I might end up downloading even more audiobooks. We will see. Let me know if you're planning on joining us for the historical romance readathon and what books you're planning on reading. As always, I'll leave all the books that I mentioned in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you all next time. Bye!